the atmosphere in the MotoGP paddock suddenly turned tense. Marc Márquez was reportedly furious with Ducati after receiving a sharp taunt from Marco Bezzecchi. This immediately ignited the baby alien's anger in front of a large crowd. What initially seemed like a calm atmosphere has now turned heated and dramatic. Could this be the start of a major rivalry between Marquez and Bezzecchi on the Mandalika track? Let's discuss. The Mandalika circuit, usually a high-profile venue due to its tropical atmosphere and fervent Indonesian fans, turned into a stage for major disappointment for the Ducati Lenovo team this time. Their two main stars, Marquez and Francesco Bagnaia, both failed to deliver stellar performances in qualifying and the sprint race. Even worse, Marco Bezzecchi won, and he now poses a serious threat to Pecco's position in the provisional standings. From the first day of free practice, Ducati's struggles were evident. Marc Márquez, the 2025 MotoGP World Champion, who arrived with ambitions of continuing his dominance, appeared to struggle to find the Desmercedes GP25's balance. He complained about losing rear grip and experiencing poor stability on the Mandalika circuit's signature right-hand turns. The bike feels like it's living on its own. Every time I exit a corner, it feels like I'm fighting a monster, Marquez said in frustration. Meanwhile, Francesco Bagnaia, the two-time world champion and Ducati's pride and joy, experienced similar problems. He had performed strongly in the previous round and shown signs of a revival. However, at Mandalika, everything changed drastically. His rear tyre lost traction, and he seemed unable to control the bike in several crucial sections. The defeat was made even more painful when Marco Bezzecchi, Valentino Rossi's protégé, delivered a stellar performance and won the sprint race. This was not only a personal triumph for Bezzecchi, but also a heavy blow to the Ducati Lenovo team. Now, the points gap between Pecco and Bezzecchi is only 20 points. If Pecco's performance continues to decline, he could lose his third-place position in the world standings in no time to Bezzecchi, who is growing increasingly confident on his Aprilia. Even more hurtful are Bezzecchi's comments that corner Marquez. Marquez, he's looked lost since arriving in Mandalika. He's usually so aggressive, but this time he seems overly cautious, perhaps afraid of crashing again. I don't know if the problem is with the bike or his mentality, but honestly, I feel like Ducati is too busy making excuses instead of finding solutions. If they need an example of how to manage a bike on a hot track like this, please look at our data, said Marco Bezzecchi with a sardonic smile. Yeah. Marc Márquez immediately retorted, Bezzecchi can say whatever he wants, but he's forgotten one thing. I've never been afraid of anyone on the track. Honestly, I'm sick of hearing cheap talk like that. Bezzecchi should stop hiding behind small wins and learn how to maintain his performance over a full season. Marquez asserted this with a sharp gaze. The defeat sparked intense anger in the Ducati garage. The atmosphere in the paddock was incredibly tense. The sound of the garage door slamming, the crew's disappointed expressions, and the technicians' sharp stares all illustrated the intensity of the situation. Both riders, Marc Márquez and Francesco Bagnaia, demanded significant changes. They asked the technical team to immediately evaluate the bike's setup, especially its rear traction and corner exit stability, as they believed these were the main sources of the problems. Pecco made a strong statement. I'm not riding this bike, I'm just a passenger. I can't control it at all. At Motegi, I felt comfortable, but here, there's nothing I can do. This reflected the reigning champion's frustration with the Ducati GP25's increasingly unpredictable performance. Several mechanics were seen trying to calm Pecco down in the debriefing room. Meanwhile, Marquez also appeared furious. He was seen loudly arguing with the Ducati engineer and pointing at the front of his bike. According to reports from the paddock, Marquez felt that his bike was losing stability and grip during braking, which is crucial to his riding style. Several internal sources reported that the relationship between Pecco and technical director Gigi D'Aligna was becoming tense. The tension reportedly arose from differing opinions about the direction of the bike's development, especially after a series of poor results. The tension was fueled by differing opinions about the bike's development. Pecco felt that Ducati was focusing too much on Marquez's data, and neglecting his personal setup. Ahead of Sunday's main race, the atmosphere in the Ducati garage is like a ticking time bomb, ready to explode at any moment. Failure after failure has caused Gigi Dall'Igna, the genius behind Ducati's success, to start losing his cool. After Bagnaia performed poorly again at the Misano Grand Prix and crashed in front of thousands of fans packed into the grandstands, the tension in the garage increased. According to reports from the paddock, Dall'Igna appeared frustrated and barely spoke after the race. The technical director, known for his calm and analytical nature, now showed a look of disappointment that was hard to hide. "Honestly, I've lost my patience," Gigi said in an emotionally charged interview. "We've given everything, the best support, data and strategy. But the result is still the same. The fans must be disappointed." These words were a strong signal to Pecco. Rumours immediately spread that Ducati was considering a bold move, terminating the reigning champion's contract early, if their performance didn't improve quickly. Some internal sources said that Dall'Igna had begun communicating with other riders for next season, which is a sign that patience at Borgo Panigale was running out. Amid the turmoil in the Ducati garage, a major rumour began circulating in the MotoGP paddock. Francesco Bagnaia was reportedly being eyed by Yamaha. The Japanese manufacturer had just introduced its latest V4 engine, touted as a revolutionary project to end their dry spell. Analysts claim this engine has great power, yet maintains stability in corners. They believe its characteristics would perfectly suit Pecco's smooth, precise, yet deadly riding style on corner exits. Several sources in the paddock reported that Yamaha is ready to offer Bagnaia a substantial contract with a guaranteed mainstay rider position, an offer that may be hard to refuse if the situation at Ducati continues to escalate. If true, Pecco's move to Yamaha would be the most sensational transfer of the last decade, given the historic rivalry between Ducati and Yamaha, the cornerstone of modern MotoGP. While Pecco is under pressure, Marc Márquez remains the symbol of Ducati's resurgence. Since the opening race in Buriram, Thailand, Márquez has been in superb form, combining his legendary racing instincts with the full power of the Ducati. He has already racked up a string of victories that has frustrated his rivals. Now, however, Márquez faces a new challenge in the form of Toprak Razgatlioglu, the former World SBK World Champion, who will join the Yamaha factory MotoGP team next season. Toprak's aggressive riding style and late braking skills pose a real threat to Márquez's dominance. The drama in the Ducati garage shows no signs of ending anytime soon. The tension between Márquez, Bagnaia and Dall'Igna is now at the centre of attention. Márquez is still fighting to maintain his dominance. Meanwhile, Pecco is under immense pressure and facing the threat of transferring to Yamaha. Will Ducati be able to quell this internal conflict? Let us know your thoughts below.